Welcome everybody to On the Chain. This is Chip here with Chip. Where is Jeff? Jeff is on special assignment today. We got a lot to cover today. First off, let's talk about Ripple is releasing a stablecoin, the RLUSD. That's coming out very soon, supposedly. And also, we're going to talk a lot about the XRPL zone in Korea. South Korea, there's an incredible amount of dev work going on there. And we were when Jeff and I were in March, we're at the Wave of Innovation. We got a little bit of taste of that, and it's incredible. 7 out of 10 people in South Korea know exactly about XRP. Here, you could throw a dart in a crowd and nobody knows. Just us chickens is about it. And then Coindesk actually refers to Ripple as a clear winner. We got to break that down because let's face it, Coindesk has not been all that fair, I would say, in a lot of ways, but also they're always hating on Ripple. So that was an interesting one as well. So we're going to jump into that. I thought I'd do something a little different, go a little bit of nostalgic and play the long OTC intro. You guys ready to go? Let's go.
Are you down with?
And that's not it. We're here.
Welcome to On the Chain with Jeff and Chip.
Wow, we haven't played that one in a long time, but it gave me a little bit of time to set some things up, which is always a good thing, not a bad thing. But hey, hello everybody. Sophie, what's going on? Am, what's up? I know we got a little bit of a late start today. Sometimes if you don't get that video posted before 7:30, you won't get a notice, and you don't get a notice anyway. So it's not like it's any stretch of the imagination, but what ends up happening is no notices go out, so no notification. So that's one of the downfalls of that. But just crazy. It's been a little bit crazy for me and my family. You know, my mother passed away, and I put a post up on X yesterday, and I was just blown away by the love and support from the entire community. I have to say, just really kind of blew me away, touched me very deeply. Some of the amazing comments, and believe it or not, that does help. It does help you get through it. And if you've ever had lose a parent, it's a tough thing. So thank you guys for all the love and support. Jeff is got something going on this morning, which is why he couldn't join. And because he's unable to join doesn't mean we're not going to have any less of a show. But I'll tell you, it's hard to do it without Jeff. Jeff is really the anchor here, and it's kind of fun to play off each other. Otherwise, it's just me sitting in my studio here and talking to my computer, which is always a lot of fun too. The talented Mr. Flowers, love and condolences. Thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot, guys. And yeah, I mean that post like blew up, and man, I got to tell you, I was just really blown away. And people reached out personally and shared some personal stories, which I also feel like it helps a lot. It helps to know that we're all, regardless of what we're gonna, doesn't matter what political side of the spectrum we're on, everything, and people that even like disagree with me often, we're reaching out to say nice things. And that's where you realize the humanity of it all, that really, when we think about decentralization, we think about people, we think about freedom. What we all want is the same thing, right? Want to raise our families. We want to be left alone. We don't want the government intruding in our business, right? We don't want to be lectured and told what to do. And this whole idea of decentralization, of not having that sort of like that middle party, right? Because anytime you have some sort of meddling from humans, I don't care what side of the spectrum it's on, it's never going to turn out well. It's always going to be something that's going to be a little bit less than. And so when we think about bigger picture, and we think about like what brings everybody together, well, certainly moments like what I've experienced bring people together. It brings people together and realizes, hey, we're only here for a short time. I mean, what humbles me a lot is I think 100 years from now, there's going to be all new people on the planet. We're going to be long gone. Now, there might be some strays hanging on that are still here, but in 100 years, it'll be replaced. And what will happen? People won't do their research. History will ultimately repeat itself inevitably, because it's what happens. It's almost like a new group of people come in. They think we're going to do it better. We're going to implement socialism because it really hasn't been done the way we do it. And so we're going to try it even, and be successful. And this is some of the sort of reasoning, but I look at the decentralization now that it's here, and it's here to stay. It's going to be hard to undo. Is it going to get the mass adoption? When we think about crypto, we think about, how are stable coins going to, pan out? How is the Ripple RLUSD going to, it's always a weird thing. It's like, it just rolls off your tongue. An RLUSD, how does that roll off your tongue? You think about like how that goes. But I'm really excited about some of the, what's happening in the space. And like I mentioned, in Seoul, Korea, they're having the XRPL zone here. And this is going to be fantastic. So, and what I was blown away by was just how incredible South Korea really is. And also I want to give props to Japan as well. These are two countries that really understand, and Japan's going through its own challenges with the economy. But you know what? People are engaged and they're building and they're solving, problems. And this is what I absolutely love, right? So RippleX put this post up. Agendas packed for the first ever XRPL zone. And this is going to be held at KBW official. Let's see what that is. So this is Asia's most impactful blockchain conference, the Korea Blockchain Week. So this is going to be very cool that they're going to have an XRPL zone there. And again, it really makes a lot of sense given the fact that there's so much development going out there. And we're going to probably do some interviews and bring some interviews on this show as well to kind of highlight some of that stuff. So Open Eden Labs, of course, Futureverse with Aaron McDonald. We've had Aaron on the show a couple of times, and Jeff and I had the pleasure. We will play that segment. We do have that segment from the Australian Wave of Innovation, and Jeff and I had the privilege of doing some interviews with some folks, and that one, it's just a little on the long side. So, but I think maybe tomorrow night we can play something like that, but very educational and kind of gives you an introspective of what's going on. But Aaron will be there. You got Pearsat there, and it's going to be fantastic. So this is going to be another amazing event. And a lot of people just like Shellfish. Oh my gosh, this looks like such a great event. Can't wait to hear about it from the attendees. So yeah, it's going to be fantastic to be able to actually watch this. And let's open up this puppy here. So this is a 2. Let's go to the English part of it, but let's take a look at this. So it's the first ever XRPL zone in Seoul. And again, it really is on point because of what's going on over there. And the special edition of the zone will focus on the key developments in the XRPL, including the RWA tokenization, AMM, the AM XRPL EVM sidechain, along with opportunities for the community to network and collaborate. That's kind of nice thing about putting this in a blockchain week, where you get people from all over. And even running the people, especially the networking side. One of the things that Jeff found incredibly engaging when we were in Australia, were people coming up to us. Some people knew us from the podcast. Many, I would say maybe about 60% knew, maybe 40% didn't. But the whole idea of talking to people that are like-minded, that, it's why we assemble here on the show. It's why we come here, 3 days a week, and we kind of hang out together. And, you can hang out in the chat. You can contribute to the show. It's why we hang out, because we're like-minded. And that certainly has that sort of flavor to it when you meet people and you're like, hey, how you doing? You find out their story and where they're from. It really is. It's invigorating and it's phenomenal. So this is going to be a really good thing. And also too, you got updates from the XRPL creator, David Schwartz, and the Korean XRPL community, which I said is very, very engaged. So you'll also meet visionaries, join the demo day, which is going to be also cool, and experience the type of innovation. There'll be engaging sessions, so you can learn, hot topics, what's going on in the XRPL. You can hear from the industry leaders. You can see, demos and apps that are actually built on the XRPL, as well as get some XRPL updates is ongoing, and contributions from Ripple, and then this is the one I like, because this is the problem. If you guys ever go to conferences, this is the one thing that killers everything. And enjoy strong Wi-Fi power. Now, if you've ever participated in these, and my companies certainly have, is you go there, and one of the things that they hijack you for is like, oh, you want internet? Okay, and the internet's ridiculous. It's like $1,500, $2,000 a day, depending on how powerful you want it. So they basically they'll bring like fiber into the building, whatever. And so you always kind of congregate around somewhere where there's a very strong connection, because you have a lot of attendees. Everyone wants to be on Wi-Fi, and people want to update, people want to post, and you just don't have it. So this sounds funny, but if you've ever been to these conferences, this is like, you go, oh, strong Wi-Fi power. Okay. Workstations, food, check, 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 and lounges to hang out. That's the other thing. A lot of walking goes on. And if you're not sitting in a session, there's really sometimes nowhere to sit down. So having a lounge, having some Wi-Fi, having some food, being able to chat with people is kind of what it's all about. So it's incredible. Let's go back to the chat here. Jim D checks in. Hello from Las Vegas. But I dearly miss Korea, especially the food. Oh man, I got to tell you, I got to get to Korea because what's going on there is so exciting, and I got to tell you, it's a brilliant, country culture. It's phenomenal, and I would absolutely. But we're gonna be doing some interviews in the near future too. We're gonna be highlighting what's some of the cool innovation that's going on there. And like I said, Jeff and I will play a segment too because we had the opportunity to interact as well. Thank you for sharing that. This is Tim Tom's stepdad died at 20-ish. Be happy for how long they're around. I only wish my stepdad saw me where I'm not. And that's the thing too. It's like sometimes, like I think about how blessed I was, just going back to that for a moment, is that, being at my age and that VP pick, Tim Walz, we're the same age. Now take a look at him. I thought he was in his mid 70s. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a good judge of age or character, but we are the same age. And I'm like, how is that possible? I don't know. In some world it is. But you're absolutely right. I do feel blessed to have had my parents. My dad's still, doing the best. They were together 62 years. It's an incredible long time to be together, and that's what you have to be thankful for. The people. One of my best friends in the world, his mom passed when he was 9. It's like I don't know what it would be like to lose a parent at 9 years old, or how you reconcile that. So it's kind of a difficult thing as well. So. And then Justin, so Justin, again, that's partly my fault because if you don't get the video posted by 7:27, 7:28 in the morning, Eastern time, what happens is it doesn't send. Well, they don't necessarily go out anyway, but the problem is that I missed the deadline by a couple minutes, and then you're guaranteed for nothing to go out. So yeah, that's thanks for searching though, man. This is kind of the thing that we're plagued with, is that there are people that I follow that I've been like a super fan for. And again, it's really mostly outside of crypto, but following hardcore for 4 or 5 years, I get every single notice when they're going, when they post a video. Now, most of the time it's not live, but for us, listen, we kind of know what's going on there. We know why it's happening. Subject matter is not really not the preferred method, of the go. We have a lot of critiques and criticisms, but both sides. And if you look at this lineup, this is a crazy lineup. So Josh Kim, got to meet Josh from Catalyze. Josh is a very big visionary. You got to watch. Josh is going places. I'm going to tell you, it's been some time with him. It was really amazing to engage. David Schwartz, Brad Garlinghouse, Monica Long. I'd be excited to meet Josh Kim. Because they're all just phenomenal. You got Jeremy you got Aaron McDonald, which again had the pleasure of entering. You get Ferran Prat, and you have Jeff Kwan, another one from Y Finance, which we got a chance to hang out with. So you want to look at how visionary the wave of innovation Australia was. There was a whole feature basically of what's going on in South Korea. So you had Jeff Kwan, and you also had Josh Kim there, and that was what a powerhouse, and really fun presentations. So we'll probably show them here, or maybe we'll put them up at some point. We'll play them, and then also too, love to get both of those guys on the show. But you got some big bangers here, and of course Aaron, what he's doing with Futureverse and how they're utilizing the XRP as the gas token over there. I don't know how these guys are cranking out the innovation over there. Aaron has probably one of the best teams around. As far as when it comes to the space that he's in, I got to tell you, they crank out innovation, man. They just crank it out like left and right. So I wanted to highlight that a little bit. And then right around the corner from that, we had Crypto Eddie posting this one. The schedule's available. We have this coming out too. This is the XRP experience in the heart of Tokyo. So just nearby, you got XRP Community Day hosted by Ripple. It brings execs from Ripple, leading Japanese institutions and innovative XRP community leaders and builders. So same thing. Why would you want to go? Well, you can get inspired, discover the new ops, stay ahead of what's going on, learn some of the upcoming trends, and then connect. And again, if you guys ever have a chance to go to one of these, the connecting part of it is great. It's like when we see each other here, we're hanging out. But when we get a chance to meet in person, Jeff and I always wanted to do something like mid-February in Florida, and wanted to just have everybody kind of come down and actually be able to meet and then have some speakers and talk about stuff, because the in-person experience is the greatest part. And when I think about Australia, one of the things that sticks out are the people. I mean, the presentations, everything was fantastic, but the people that we met, the real people we met, the stories that they told, the laughs that we had, that to me was where the real power was. And we're going to be back for 2025 in Australia. If you get a chance to go, if you've ever wanted to go to Australia, come hang out with us. It's going to be great as details emerge, but it's going to be bigger, better this year. And I highly recommend it. I know it's not an easy trip for Jeff and I. Jeff and I flew from Miami to LA. That was 6 hours. We had a 9-hour layover. Luckily, we were in the best lounge that they have in the LA airport. And then we had, just a simple, almost 16-hour flight into Sydney. Oh, and then we had another, hour layover, and then we had another hour and a half flight to the Gold Coast. So yeah, it's a little bit difficult to get to. You can't fly directly to the Gold Coast, but again, you got to go out of San Francisco or you got to go out of Seattle. It depends on that, but yeah, you put it all together, 29 hours, and then you lose a day. We flew on a Tuesday, we lost our Wednesday. We ended up there Thursday morning. We're like, what happened to Wednesday? We got cheated. We never had a Wednesday. So because they're, in the future, and then that whole time difference of trying to communicate with my wife, was trying to figure out, okay, what time is it over there? So that was another big thing. And just as I started getting used to the time zone, then it was time to go back home, and that was a killer. Going there was okay because you just stayed up as long as you could. You finally crashed at night, and you kind of got on somewhat of a cycle. I was waking up early, and Jeff was having the same issues. But when I came back, it took me a week to readjust. It was rough. I'm not going to lie to you. What else is going on in here? Okay, so yeah, there's a deadline. There's a deadline for us to post. Yeah, it's usually a half hour prior to the show, so that's what it is, unfortunately, and that's the sad reality of it. Let's see what else we got here. I don't meet these meetups. Yeah, so I don't get these meetups. I don't want to meet anyone. I want money. I want freedom. I don't want to meet up. That's fine too. Look, it's not for everybody, but again, I look at like-minded people. I like to hang around people that are at least like-minded, or I can learn from, or are thinking a little bit differently. That's kind of what it is. And there's also different investment strategies too. People will tell you what they've done to be successful, some other things that they've invested in. So there's that bit of it, but I understand that from that point of view too. It's not for everybody. It's a learning opportunity. I've just said, for me personally, the networking part of it is the pieces you remember the most, the people you met, the engagements you had. You broke bread together. You had a beer together. You told the story. Those are the pieces that I remember the most. But again, everybody's a little bit different. It doesn't necessarily always have to be the same. And then here we go, Crypto Eddie 2, who is probably the queen of doing research and digging out stuff. I don't know how she finds the time to do it, but she's talking about, while Ripple, the RLUSD, will not initially be available on Solana, all other major stablecoins are on it, and Ripple may see Solana as a key choice when it comes to rolling out the stablecoin further. There's a behind-the-wall intelligence report, and so some of the topics that were covered, from Xcurrent to Ripple payments, Ripple's evolving payment offering, Ripple's SEC case. They talked about Ripple payments and then re-engaging the cross-border payments industry. They talked about the stablecoin, the RLUSD, Ripple's, and they also talk about Ripple's cross-border payments, the standard custody acquisition and compliance implication, the wider stablecoin market, key competitors, which stablecoins are better suited for cross-border payments, and implications for Ripple's XRP. So I know a lot of stuff here. And here's how it stacks up. A nice little chart here, how Ripple stablecoin compares to competitors. And here are some key features right here of the U.S. market. Then these are all U.S. dollar pegged here. So as you see it, you got the PayPal's one right there, the brand and issuer, you got PayPal and Paxos. And you can see that if you look at the flag here, most of them are the U.S., but you also have U.K. Over there as well. And then you have the blockchains they're on, Ethereum and Solana. You start seeing that the Ripple one, you see what's missing there. There's no Solana. And so the U.S. dollar deposits, short-term U.S. government treasuries, and other cash equivalents is what it's backed by. That's the reserves. The the PYUSD. What, can they just make these? Why do they have to? Why don't they just call it a name, right? Why do you have to have these initials? Because the whole idea of creating an acronym is to make it shorter. And so if it makes it more difficult to actually say it, it doesn't work, right? But this is what happens in every major industry. They can think of a product, they roll it out, it has a really piss poor name, right? With AI and everything else going on today, you think that you would be able to come up with something better than a PY because it's PayPal and then USD. Just ridiculous. That one's backed by US Treasury, and bills and bonds. Then you got the USDC, which are all obviously that circle. And that was what was really key right there. If you think about Ripple and this whole strategy of the stablecoin, the idea of having the standard custody was a very big key component, especially if you're thinking about institutional. You needed a big sort of custody play there because, again, the custody issue, especially with institutional, is always going to be an issue. And then here you see it again too. So USD, one of the wider ones. There's 15 of them. It's also on Ethereum, Solana, and Stellar, right? And then you have the USDP, which is Paxos. Then you got that's on Ethereum. So it's funny. It's at some point they're probably going to have to adopt Solana. Solana, there's a ton of building going on right now, and people can say what they want about Solana. It goes down every other month. So what? Who cares? It could go down for a week. You know what? People don't care because they're building on it and they're using it. And then, when you look at even NFT sales, it's stealing the show there as well. Then, of course, you've got USDT and that right there, the Tether, that's backed by treasury bills. And again, supposedly, right? We've heard all kinds of stories about that. So cash, corporate bonds, precious metals, Bitcoin, secured loans, like everything but the kitchen sink. And I don't know, are there any recent audits on that? And it's on 16 chains, including, of course, Ethereum and Solana, where Ripple, we've got, it's on the XRP ledger and Ethereum, but I would imagine that as time goes on, it's going to get even wider. I would imagine anyway. I'm not 100% sure, but it probably would. Morning. Everyone's saying good morning. SoFlo, Digital, what's up? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. What else do we have here? What else do we have? I know we had some other goodies as well. Oh, yeah, let's get into this. Crippen Writer put this out too, and another phenomenal writer and researcher on the XRPL. This is funny because you guys might relate to this. He goes, people ask me literally every day, Crippen Writer, what's the use of XRP and the XRPL? Well, let me make it clear for all of you. It is and always was payments and decentralized finance. But if we fail at payments, then we've gambled away with the XRPL was designed for. We have it all on layer one, the DEX, the payment processing engine, the auto bridging, the pathfinding, not cash incentivized neutral consensus. Every single feature primitive enshrined on the base layer one, API based, JSON and RPC and WebSocket. Then you got compliance tools that Ethereum, a degen might find a dream of having. Great, but do they care? I don't know. Low fees, which is great, but the reason you built on Ethereum wasn't for low fees. It was to be incentivized. So if you were doing something and you get a gas fee and then you're profiting from it, that's kind of how businesses work, right? When you create something, whether you're selling a service, whether you're selling software, whether you're selling a physical object like real estate, the idea is to profit. And of course, if we're not, Tim Tom said it the best, I'm here for the money. If you can't make any money, why would you waste your time, right? If you're not making any money, why waste your time? So that sentiment right there is a very big one. And this is the whole thing. Yeah, they're low fees, which are great for banks and great for everything. But again, this whole idea of no incentive is the best incentive. No, we don't get out of bed unless we are getting paid, right? We don't invest our time, money, and energy unless we're making something. If we got jobs we show up at, or we're self-employed, or whatever it is we're doing, if your business is everything we do is super low fees. Are you guys making any money? Nope. You're not going to be in business for very long. So there's two schools of thought on that. He is right in the fact that all the parts you need to be a superior in payments, if we still fail, We truly deserve it all. And I'd like to bring home this point. He goes on to say that we need to double down on our strength and quit BSing around. You want XRP and XRPL to succeed, then begin to learn about CLOB and AMM. Begin getting used to DeFi and cross-currency payments. How? Here you go. You got Anados. We're going to have Panos, who's built Anados. He's going to be on next Saturday right here on the channel. Been trying to get Panos on here for a long time. He's just been building. So he's been putting all his attention on Anados. So he's going to be here. You got DexFi.pro. You got Moai Finance. We talked about that a little bit ago. You got Orchestra.finance. You got Sologenic. You got Unhosted.exchange. You got XRP Market. Let me throw those in the, I'll put those in there so you guys can click on those so you guys have them there. No more excuses. Here are the here's a wallet, map.xrpl.com. And so if you look at, here are all the wallets. Of course, we're very familiar with Zaman, but you have all these GateHub, you got BitPay, you got Crossmark, Trezor, all these wallets, Bfrost, right? BPM wallet. These are all the ones we know. BitGo. This is all the stuff you have. So there's quite a lot out there. There's a lot of ones on here, honestly, that I've never heard of. But again, it's interesting to know that I just named off some of the ones that I'm more familiar with. Of course, Decent as well, Tangem, which is also part of the Zaman. Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. So anyway, what do we got here? Alchemist is here. I've come to fall back that I hold on for the comedic value. I don't know there's gonna be a lot of comedic value here today, but that might be what you have to hold on to. At the end of the day, you have to laugh. And I always hold on to that myself, because if you're not laughing, if you're one of these people that have been holding since 2016, 2017, XRP, and you're still waiting, and you couldn't even eclipse that all-time high of $3 and, let's just call it $3.50 plus. If it can't break the all-time high, then what do we solve with? 50 cents, 59 cents? And I love it when it hits 62 cents. People are like, this is it, the breakout, then down to 48 cents, right? So yeah, I mean, you come for whatever, the hangout with people and, whatever it might be, He says, Chip, I want you to know I enjoy you and Jeff. Many people are scammers and BS artists. Thank you for being you the whole time. Yeah, thanks, man. I listen, it's about a difference of opinion too, and that's what I like about people that come here and they share their opinion. You're not always going to agree. You might have a difference of opinion, but again, it's a forum to sort of share that. Jeff and I have a very particular point of view. We realized that early days when we were both doing our own thing, we said we were just lockstep on everything. We're like, it probably make more sense for us to do this together. And it's also far more enjoyable when Jeff is here than when I'm sitting here doing the show or Jeff's carrying the show. Not that we can't sit there and talk forever and BS forever, but it's really about the play. Like what becomes fun for me, like what you see is the fun Jeff and I are having. And it's the interactions we have when we're not streaming. We talk a lot all the time. We're constantly, pinging each other, on the phone. So we're always sending stories or laughing about this or that, or having a conversation, or working on one of our projects together. So what you guys get to see is like the real sort of the interaction back and forth. And the best bits for me is when we start laughing, right? I'll make him laugh. He laughs. The worst bit of it is like when we're doing a story or I'm reading and we inevitably look in the comments, and then I'll see him start to smile or laugh. And I know he's reading the comments, because this is what happens. I'm like, don't look at the comments. Just keep focused on what you're reading here. Do not look at the comments. And you look at the comments, and you inevitably start laughing. Jeff will be on one of his famous rants, and I'll be trying not to laugh. I'll be like, holding it in, or I might smile, or I might make a gesture. But that's kind of how it is, That's kind of what we do. And I know people have criticized us. We've taken a turn for the geopolitical side of things, and today's is a little bit more focused on some of the cool things that are going on in the crypto space, especially the XRPL, which we focus heavily on. But you have to sort of break it up now and again. But I do want to get to some geopolitical stuff. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. I mean, gosh, I could do a couple hour show, but I thought this was pretty cool, because seeing some community members that we know and love, hanging out with Sunny Lou from VeChain, this was a really cool thing here. But this is right here. This is from left to right. So you have Minus Wells, as you know him on, and of course you have Sonny Liu, and you have Moonchaser, and of course Crypto Eddie. So they were at where were they? They were let's see. Yeah, Moonchaser put this out. Got to hear firsthand how VeChain's driving sustainability revolution and all the innovative ways the community enterprises are getting involved. Do better, be better, V better DAO. So honor to meet you, Sonny Liu, and that's a cool picture, man. It's cool seeing community members out there engaging with other people. It's funny, because VeChain's a big sponsor of the UFC. You've probably seen that logo hanging around there too, but they're out there. They got the name out there, and Sonny Liu's done an amazing job with that. So I thought that was a very cool sort of an image to see community members hanging out, doing stuff. Wrath of Conman, always putting out some good posts. He put this one out here. This one is keep an eye on Zoth.io. And I don't even know how you say that. I mean, like, let's think of dumb names, and then let's have AI think of like 1,000 better names. I'm sorry, but I have to just bag on sometimes when I hear these dumb names. It rolls right. I mean, let's see. What is this? It's Zoth. Okay. So it's Zoth.io. So the name of the company is Zoth, rhymes with sloth. So sloth rhymes with doth. Zoth, doth. So what it is Zoth.io, which is their URL. So the name of the company is Zoth, your portal to on-chain RWAs, real-world assets, bridging liquidity across TradeFi and on-chain Fi, one RWA at a time. Okay, so there it is, Zoth.io. We'll kick out to that in a little bit. But Common put this one. I said, Ripple was reported as part of Zoth's $4 million funding round on August 6th for tokenized liquid notes. These are backed by T-bills and bonds, and this is a grant from the June XRPL accelerator cohort, where he's asking if it is. Lots of XRPL potential, a brief. And he's kind of breaking down this article. The XRPL press reads that Zoth introduces an institutionalized grade fixed income marketplace, facilitating unprecedented access to diverse range of high-yield, secure fixed income opportunities using stablecoins. Note the link is to co-sponsor Tennity's site. And so he's just kind of like breaking down this piece right here. Again, he says they bridge TradeFi and DeFi, enabling access to short-term fixed income products from emerging markets through DeFi rails. So tokenized Brazilian bonds, and then move them across ledgers into DeFi, and suitable for TradeFi as well. So talking right there. So you got 6% APY, 0 lock-ins, 2% boosted yield. And so a couple of XRPL angles here. First of all, the tokenization real-world asset on XRPL, their accelerator participation sort of suggests that they have an intent to tokenize there. But again, not 100% sure if that's going to happen. And second, perhaps their central use of stablecoins suggests that the RLUSD will be a candidate upon release. And he's asking that as a question. And then there you go right there. It was announced as part of the accelerator program. And interestingly, they annexed the token at liquid notes backed by U.S. Treasury bonds recently, given Ripple's work with Open Eden on T-bills and the XRPL. Does the description resonate with Ripple's previous interest of providing liquidity for corporate treasurers? And then he goes on to say that the EL15, Ripple has funded an XRPL accelerator cohort member named Zoth that is tokenized real-world assets on the XRPL. They do this with emerging market treasuries using stablecoins. Yeah, kind of a rehash. And on an aside, Zoth also works with trade finance, which I still believe should happen on the XRPL. We've seen it with some other exporters recently, and I also think that all-in-one solutions were too much, but tokenizing invoices puts the financial aspect online faster. Of course, he's pulling this one up from July of 25, saying unraveling the mysteries of Ripple's latest ODL partners and how XRPL may be used. Nutrasource was announced as an ODL user back in November. Who or what is Nutrasource? A little dive. So he does a little breakdown on that as well. Stay hydrated. Have a good weekend. Vet says, nice find. Fits into what Ripple said about more to come in terms of tokenized T-bills when the Open Eden post first came out. And then Rath says, yeah, I think so. It took a second to coordinate the financial magazine funding report and the cohort grant, but I think they're the same. So interesting. These are guys breaking stuff down. I love Rath, the Conman, Crypto Eddie, like doing some phenomenal work. Jeff and I are pretty busy these days. Don't have a lot of work. We can report on it, but I just wanted to give shout outs, Krippenreiter as well, because these are the people that put in the work that makes jobs like what Jeff and I do, which is just talking about it, the easy part, giving opinion about it. But these are the people that are doing the work, and always appreciate them in the community for the work that they do and breaking stuff down. They find it and they break it out to the to everybody else to see. So that's also a big deal. What else do we have here in the grab bag? Let's go to the comments here. Let's go to we see what we have here. Share the load, share the misery. Yep. V chain, a cringe chain, full China. Mothra would have been better. Mothra would have been great. Mothra would have been great. There's no doubt about. There's no doubt about that. And then let's take a look at Zoth's website. Anytime I see a dark website, I immediately start bagging on it. I'm like, thanks for making it really incredible, hard to read. Thanks, appreciate that. Because everyone loves to read dark, white type on a black background. I know coders love it, but I don't. I don't personally care for it. But there you go. And of course, XDC, trusted by all these people. Zoth is an institutional grade fixed income marketplace. High quality assets, sustainable yield, world-class tokenized, blah, blah, blah. Networks we live on. There you go. Got all the big ones. I do not see. This is what. Just tell me the names. I don't know every one of those icons there. And then all the places they've been featured. But it'll be interesting to keep up with Zoth. Rhymes with sloth. To see what they're actually up to, what they're doing. What is going on here? Invest stablecoins, I guess, trade receivables. Get access to secure. No, I don't want to read your disclaimer. I have to read your disclaimer before I can look at your website? No. Thank you very much. 8 deals, invoice factoring pools with Neobank from Central America. So there's a 12% APY up to, it's kind of worded a little bit weird there. It should be up to 12% APY. And then you have over collateralized invoice factoring pool. I don't know, it seems volatile, some of this stuff, but again, who knows? 365 looks like the open for 1 year, open-ended. This one here was closed, was an invoice factoring pool from Singapore that paid 9% APY. So interesting stuff here. It could be somewhat volatile, but it's something to maybe look into and keep your eye on it. What else do we have? You can't see the chat. You're in the chat. Okay, you can see it now. Okay, there you go. Yeah, it also depends too. Sometimes if you're on your phone, and it's weird. It's most of the time, and even though I've got, big TV and I can watch YouTube on it, I pretty much always watch it on my phone. I don't know how you guys are. I love to hear what you usually do. When you're posting on, let's say, X or social media, or even if you're consuming content, whether it's like YouTube or Rumble or wherever it is, are you mostly on your phones or are you mostly on a computer? Curious to know what that looks like, because I spend way too much time just holding my phone. After a while, my hand starts hurting and stuff, which can be a pain. What do we got here? What do we hit? Oh, you cast from the phone to the TV. That's a good idea too. I'll do that sometimes, but the problem with that, it's weird. Like if I'm watching something on TV, I want to be on my phone as I'm listening to something. So sometimes when you're casting, you don't have that thing to do, which I will do that, because let's face it, on any TV, I go on these Samsung TVs and it's a pain in the ass to like click, 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 the letters. It's just like, with Apple TV, it's easy because I just type it in on my, if I'm on Apple TV, I can just use my phone, but I should be able to use my phone to be able to just type stuff in, right? And maybe there's an app, I don't know, but if you guys know, with the Samsung TV, it's like I don't have to go through, and the letters are like they're not even in the keyboard style. So I'm like clicking along and it takes forever. And most of the time I just watch it on my phone, And my wife she laughed at me because when you go to these places, there's a store here in Florida called 5 and Under. and it's kind of like the new concept of the dollar store. Instead of being a dollar store, which I don't, even the dollar stores don't have things for $1 anymore, like $1.50, $1.75. But the whole idea of this concept store was 5 and under. So everything's $5 and under, supposedly. And so I bought one of these contraptions. It's like a wire contraption. You kind of like stick it behind your neck, and it kind of comes up like this, and it holds your phone. So like if you're just like if you're like laying down, you can maneuver this wire thing. It has the expandable thing where you snap your phone in it, and you can just sort of like put it right in front of your face here, and then you can sit there and watch it. My wife's like, well, why would you do that? I'm like, well, because if I got my headphones in, my earbuds, and I got the song cranked up, and the lights are kind of dim. It's kind of like I'm watching a big TV. It's just right here, right? And I don't have to sit there and hold the damn thing or prop it up. And it was like, it cost like $4, and I still have this damn thing. I've had it for like maybe 5 years. I don't know. Every once in a while it gets lost or it gets caught under the bed, but I'm telling you, it's the most practical, dumbest thing I ever bought that I actually still use. So there's always that too. I used to have something similar for my iPad too, but iPads are all right, but I almost even prefer my phone because iPad's a little more clunkier, and I like the ratio of the phone better. But there you have it. More non-interesting. Let's see what else we have here. What do we have? We gotta have something. Is that it? Yeah, I wanted to talk about this. The Winklevoss twins are on fire, man. I am very, very I'm very excited about how they are just on fire lately, man. They are just, it's very infrequent that you see, especially somebody in their position that runs an exchange that are billionaires. And they took that settlement from Facebook, dumped it into Bitcoin. The smartest thing they ever did. They were told they were dumb for doing it, and then look who's reaping the rewards. And of course, they run Gemini. But Cameron Winklevoss put this up, talked about a reset in Ohio. And Sherrod Brown is a complete asshat. This guy is a Democrat who hates on crypto, and just given the fact that that he's so anti, you've got the super PAC Fair Shake that's coming out. And what's still weird to me is Fair Shake has still not come out for John Deaton against Elizabeth Warren, and that one is troubling to say the least. But I do have to give Fair Shake some props here because they have been mostly really heavily providing money on the Democrat side. They're run by Democrats. I get it. Listen, they're all Dems. They've all worked for Dems. So, they're trying to come out as a sort of nonpartisan, be really pro-crypto. But they're doing a good thing here because they're basically going to broadcast in Ohio, Arizona, and Michigan for the Senate races and the November general election. The biggest one coming up is John Deaton, and why he's not getting backed is a mystery to me. I just don't get it. Now, maybe they're waiting for the primary, but John Deaton won the straw poll. It was like 150 out of 200 straw polls. He got like 155. He crushed it. The other guys were non-existent. That Democrat plant asshat Ian Kane, he got like 9. I mean, dude, get out of the race. Go to his X account right now and say, listen, if you're beaten, you're not going to win the straw poll. You're not going to win the primary. Let's see if you're really a Republican, like you claim you are. Like you've only getting that. And he tried to donate to a Republican, come on, we know who you are. So if you're truly a Republican, when you get your ass handed to you in the primary, let's see if you're going to put your support behind John Deaton. I doubt it happens. If it does, I'll give him some props, but I don't see it happening. So this is a really good thing that's going on. Then you got Tyler, his brother comes off and says, Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown, one of the biggest crypto enemies in Washington. Not the biggest one. The biggest one is Elizabeth Warren. Does anybody doubt that? Oh, nobody doubts that. He's an Elizabeth Warren crony, which she arguably is the biggest enemy, whose ex-senior staffers now work for Gary Gensler at the SEC. The rot runs deep. It's time to drain the swamp by electing Bernie Moreno. So I think this guy Bernie is getting so much support from so many different places. And it's great to see this guy, Bernie Moreno, that's running. But John Deaton, to me, is not getting near the amount of support that he needs. He just isn't getting it. And it's just troubling to me on so many levels. And maybe they don't think he can win. I think he absolutely can win. And when he gets into once he goes through the primary stage and he gets into a debate, he's going to destroy him. John Deaton will not cower. He will not run. He will stand up and he will face it. And this is something that Elizabeth Warren, who always complains and yells, and this something should be done about this, and something should be done about that. It's like last time we checked, you're the something, and you do nothing. You've been there 12 years. You've got some silly bill passed that nobody even remembers. The legislation you put forward doesn't help people. It's anti-everything. I heard about some other bills she was authoring the other day. Listen, stop. We don't want you anymore. Okay, it's time to get you. It's time to get this grifter and get her out of office. I wanted to share this little piece. Let me see if I can find it over here as we're setting up. Okay, let me. I got to share the audio, so this is always fun. Let me see if I can find it. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Where is it? There it is. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. Here it is. Okay, I think I found it. Everybody. And you're gonna have to let me know if you hear audio. But so I've been on this AI kick for some time. I mean, everything I do is AI. My whole workflow, my whole life is AI. I mean, I sell AI for a living. I sell generative AI. My whole world is AI. I do AI image generation, AI video, AI music, and I wanted to do a tribute to John Deaton, so I did a song for John Deaton called "Deaton is the Hero We Need." And I don't know if you guys heard this. If you didn't, you're going to get to hear it again, but I'm going to put it up here, and you guys need to tell me if you hear audio. If you don't, I need to hear in this thing, so just let me know. Hey, Caroline, good to see you. We're talking about Australia a little bit earlier. Kind of missed all that, but you can always go ahead and join. So here we go. We have Deaton, the hero we need. Let me put this up, guys, and I do need to know if you hear audio. Here we go. Do you hear audio?
In the heart of Detroit, where the streets were tough, John Deaton grew up. Life was more than rough. With a single mom, hunger was his nightly friend. But he rose above, his spirit wouldn't bend. From the hood to the courtroom, fighting for the weak, taking on the SEC. He's the tall you need, a champion for the underdog. He made his name. Now he's stepping up. Massachusetts is his aim. John Deaton, the people's fighter. He's standing strong. He'll take on the fake where the truth belongs. Pro crypto and solution bounties here to serve. From Massachusetts, he'll give what they deserve. Unseat the fake and expose the lie. Deaton's the hero, watch him rise high. He'll fight for the people, no problems you create. With Deaton in the Senate, we'll rewrite the state. Elizabeth Warren, she played her game, claimed a heritage that was never her name. But Deaton's here with truth in hand to bring real change to this weary land. He's not just talk, he's action and grit. For the people of Massachusetts, he'll never quit. From crypto to justice, he's got the plan. A problem solver, a real people's man. John Deaton, the people's fighter. He's standing strong. He'll take on the fake where the truth belongs. Pro crypto and solution bounties here to serve. For Massachusetts, he'll give what they deserve. Unseat the fake and expose the lie. Deaton's the hero, watch him rise high. He'll fight for the people, no problems you create. But Deaton in the Senate will rewrite the state. From the streets of Detroit to the halls of power, Deaton's ready to lead. This is his hour. No more lies, no more deceit. With John Deaton, the future's complete. John Deaton, the people's fighter. He's standing strong. He'll take on the fake where the truth belongs. Pro crypto and solution bounties here to serve. From Massachusetts, he'll give what they deserve. Unseat the fake and expose the lie. Deaton's the hero, watch him rise high. He'll fight for the people, no problems you create. With Deaton in the Senate, we'll rewrite the state. We'll rewrite the state.
There you have it. John Deaton, the hero we need. That's my tribute to John Deaton. And I also got John Deaton retweeted it or reposted it up on X and said there's some talented people in this community. So that was really cool to see that. I did tag him in the post, but again, this is sort of my take, and this is an AI tune, and AI is absolutely insane. John Deaton, all-time sounding from 2000, low sounding. Yeah, that's very, yeah, it's actually 2010s is what I actually had in the description, but yeah, very much so to have that sort of like, and again, it takes a lot of iteration to get something right with AI music. But again, I'm just incredibly impressed at what it's able to do. This was the best of all of the ones that I ran. I ran a lot of them. So what's going on, Matt LaRoche? Hey, woke up. Good, very good. You just missed the John Deaton tune, man. Deaton, so unselfish. Absolutely. You know, absolutely. Especially with the especially with, you know, the SEC lawsuit. He didn't make any money in that. That was just like him doing it pro bono. People wanted to compensate him for it. It's just incredible. So I don't know. What'd you guys think of that tune, man? I loved it. I it's just like, it was like a lot of fun to do. And you know, I even took one of Howie Carr, who's a talk show, conservative talk show host up in Massachusetts, who's also had John Deaton on. I've listened to Howie for a long time, but I love this line right here that I incorporated: unseat the fake Indian. He's always calling Warren the fake Indian, so I thought I'd give a little shout out in that respect right there. But I'd love to see like this played at like a rally, you know, jam this in the background, you know, like and just something kind of fun right there. So Jim D says, hey, we need Deaton to snatch up Democrat votes from Warren and try to get AI to tweak lyrics to make him sound a little blue dog, true Democrat. Yeah, I could do another song like that where, you know, it was a little bit more on that side. But I do think that, you know, the thing about John is that, you know, he's been a Democrat. He has voted Democrat. He's, you know, now a Republican. He has values on both sides, but John's not a guy you're going to like easily influence and buy. He's not a guy. He's going to follow his own heart. And whether I agree with him on every particular issue, we're not going to agree. I don't agree with any politician on every. I don't agree with Trump on every issue. There's a lot of things Trump does that annoy me. But John Deaton, what I appreciate about the man is that he follows his true compass of what he believes is righteous, and that's the part that I admire about him, because that's not easy to do. There's a lot of influence, but he's never going to cower to influence. He's going to do what he feels is the best possible way. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to pop out for 1 second here, but I will be right back. I've got someone banging on my door, and I am alone today, so let me go ahead and just hang on 1 second here. Be right back. Nobody likes dead air. I should have put a video on, but what are you going to do? Someone's banging on your door. My dogs are going crazy. Of course, you guys don't hear it because you guys, Deaton does have integrity. Sure does. The like button, guys, if you haven't already. That always does help the algorithm. You guys want to help the algorithm. Hit the like button. If you're in here, you got to hit the like button. There's no doubt about that. All right. So, dogs are still going crazy. I got an 8-month-old doodle puppy, and this dog is like got energy on top of energy on top of energy. But I do have a couple videos to sort of play. I wanted to play a couple of them. I thought this one was kind of funny. I always like to end the show with a little bit of funny. So this was a comedian talking about the Trump assassination. So let's listen to this.
All the conspiracy theories come out around it too. I don't know what to believe. All I do know is that if our government tried to do an assassination attempt, that's kind of how it would look. Right? It was very inefficient. That was the DMV of assassination attempt. That was not good. They had a very small budget, you could tell. They wanted to do it with a grassy knoll at a parade like they were used to. They're like, we can't swing that, we gotta do a tin roof at a town fair, that's all we got. Can't get any ex-military people to take the shot. Let's get the kid who came in last place on his marksman team. that apparently high schools have marksman teams. I'd never tried it. Dude, that was just one big government block of cheese. Like, that's all that was. It was insane. I was hoping Trump was going to come out the same day, ear still bleeding, and do the press conference. They tried to shoot me. They tried to shoot me. They were too slow, and I'm too fast. I dodged the bullet. They didn't even see it. I saw it coming from so far away. It was like the Matrix. It was all in slow motion. Call me Neo. I'm the chosen one. They say he was a Republican. That's what they'll tell you. They'll say he was a Republican that shot, but I'll tell you right now, he shoots like a liberal. I'll tell you that. He shoots like a liberal.
Are you guys not hearing audio? So hang on a second. You guys got to tell me sooner if you're not hearing audio. Are you guys hearing audio on that? Tell me if you're hearing audio. Get an audio check here because I heard audio check from Rod. So let me know if you guys are hearing audio. Just give me a thumbs up or say I hear audio. You are. Okay, you hear audio. Good. So wasn't sure. Sometimes we have some fails. And if Jeff's not here to hear it, then okay, good. That's a very good thing.
Bro. Not straight. So not straight. They said it was a fake bullet. That's what they said. It was a real bullet. We found the bullets. Turns out the bullets, they were made in China. That's where they were made. They were little teeny tiny Chinese bullets. So small, so tiny. I shot the guy back. They cut the cameras. They didn't show you that. It was me who shot him. I pulled out my Glock and I shot him right in the fucking face. That's what I did.
Anyway, thought that was a little. It's good to laugh about things every once in a while, so I thought that was something pretty good. Let's see. I think I have another video here. Let me look here. What do we have in the grab bag here? Yeah, this guy was talking about monkeypox. Let's see what you think about this. You know, monkeypox, all of a sudden, it's like a thing, right? Monkeypox. So let's hear this.
Hey, everybody. I just tested positive for monkeypox. I'm not going to get vaccinated. I kind of want a banana. Does anybody want a banana? Does anybody have a banana? Ooh, 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 ooh. And election year's coming up. Midterms, elections, monkeypox, fake voting. We see you, Deep State. Boom.
There you go. Yeah, the monkeypox face, that really sort of made that one work. And I had this one here. I don't know why we didn't play this one earlier, but this is Jack McDonald of Ripple, formerly of Standard Custody. But here he is right here talking about the Ripple stablecoin.
So I'll have 60 seconds to answer this question. I think I'm going to knock it out of the park. I'm Jack McDonald, and this is Crypto in a Minute. Stablecoins, as the name implies, are digital tokens that are designed to be less volatile than other types of cryptocurrencies or digital assets. There are different types of stablecoins. Some are backed by other cryptocurrencies and are going to be inherently more volatile, while others are designed to be more stable, and those are the ones that are really backed by government-backed securities or sovereign-backed securities. So let's think about a US dollar or a euro or a Japanese yen. You give me a dollar or a euro, I give you a digital token representing that dollar or euro. You can do lots of different things with it. You can invest with it, you can save it, you can use it as a store of value. And at the end of the day, when you want that dollar or euro back, you give me the token, I give you the euro. You have the confidence that it's stable, it's retained its value, and it has the same value on the way out as it did on the way in. That's why stablecoins are stable. And I've got a few seconds left.
Well done, Jack. Well done. Has a few seconds left. Yeah, well, technically, the numerical amount's the same, but the value, I question. If you hold a stable coin for 2 years, it will not buy the same thing it did previous 2 years. When you have countries like the United States printing money like there's no tomorrow, and you can't sustain the debt, yeah, that's going to be somewhat of a problem. I mean, for sure, there's no doubt about that. Okay. Yeah, this was I think we played this. So yeah, funny story. Trump was sinking a long putt on the golf course. The next day, he yells out to one of the staff, "That's the difference between me and the shooter. I don't miss." Damn. Well, here you go. Wow, there it is. The dollar. Yeah. Story of value. Story of value. What? Yeah. Sorry, mate. USD's lost 98% of its purchasing power. Yeah, and the funny thing is like when you say inflation was at 9.8%, was at 11%, but now it's down to 3%. Okay, so you're telling me it's only moving up at 3% and it's no longer moving at 9%, but it's cumulative. This is the part that most people will drop out. It's like, okay, so it's gone up, it's gone up, it's gone up, it's still going up, but at a much lower rate. Okay, we're good with that. Yeah, okay, so that's ridiculous, right? That makes zero sense. So when you look at, the other day you had Trump looking at he had all sort of like, normal things you buy, milk and bread and cookies and stuff, and talked about how much they go up. They do go up. During Trump was 2% inflation. It was still going up, right? It was at 2%. You're like, oh, I'm fine with 2%. That's normal. But if you look at when you removed the backing of when the USD was backed by gold, it was worth something, right? It was backed by gold. And if you go back to the 1940s and you buy gold and you held on to that gold and let's say you put $1,000 in gold, you put $1,000 in USD. That same $1,000 is not going to buy the same where that $1,000 in gold is worth, tens of thousands today. So yeah, and the value there is quite different. So there's a lot to be said about that. Let's see. Do I have one more video? Do I have one more? I do, but it's not the right video to play here. Maybe another time, but that's all the time we have here, guys. We're at an hour. Thank you for hanging with me. I really appreciate that. Kid was hilarious. Yeah, he was funny. It was good. You have to be able to make fun of things. You have to laugh at it, the absurdity of it. Yeah, buy gold, right? And if you're in Australia, go see Matt LaRoche. He will hook you up. Right there, you guys, I know you have silver, but do you guys also sell gold there, Matt? I don't know if you do or not. I don't know. I don't really know. Yeah, this is true. This is a good point right here. Matt says, they try saving for a house. You save in dollars. You're going backwards at 2 to 3% compounding as the nominal price of the house goes up. Yeah. And then we had Harris just release one of her policy statements. She wants to give $25,000 away to people, to first-time home buyers, right? Okay, that's going to work out well. That was the Clinton administration. There was like, you don't have any credit? Nobody needs credit. Just give everyone a house. And then the 2008 meltdown happened, right? I mean, you can tie policy to the debacles that these things happen. And so you put $25,000, you've automatically real estate's going to go up. You're going to have a demand again. And then what's going to happen? You're going to have this escalating real estate, and getting into what Matt's talking about, you're not going to be able to do it. So thank you guys. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys. Enjoyed it. Yes, I enjoyed it as well. Gold is awesome. Right on. Great show. Appreciate that, guys. We'll be back tomorrow night. Jeff will be back here. We'll have a lot more stuff. Probably do a little bit more of geopolitical stuff. We were really focused on crypto today with a tinge of geopolitical stuff. But we will be back again tomorrow night, guys. Love you guys. It was great hanging out with you. Thank you for coming in here, despite no notifications, which happens from time to time. But we will see you guys on the next one. Chip and Jeff, even though he's not here, we are out. See you guys tomorrow night.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.